Okay, faster. That's what we're going to do in this video. Not just fast, we're going to get faster. This is what we would call Speed 2, but that was a bad movie. This is going to be wonderful, much better than that movie. I'm going to share with you the next phase of cadence drills and some floor work where we're going to push those core muscles a little bit stronger, harder, faster. In fact, yeah, I would say that this is probably the most crucial phase that I'm going to show you in today's video. Right, let's let the old coach get warmed up. I'll be with you in a second. Okay, that's the coach warmed up. Now, I haven't got long with you, so I really want to get to this drill very quickly because I could spend an hour on it, going over it with you. But what I want you focusing on and remembering that the more you train, the more consistent you get with your training, the faster you will go. Fitness is fast. So you will go quicker, but what you've got to remember is there's a ceiling. There is a capacity that you will reach and you will plateau. What I want to show you in these videos is a multitude of skill-related and health-related fitness components that if we work on as many as possible, we can increase the grounding, the base level, the capacity for you to have a higher level of speed than just pure fitness on your bike will give you. Okay, so that's important. So this first drill relies on that. It's going to pull out some strength, but also what we call the proprioceptive nervous control. Why? Because I want to increase the interaction, the relationship, the love affair. Yeah, that's a nice one. The love affair that your foot has with the pedal, with the cleat, with the crank arm, with the gearing. It's going to become one. Oh, l'amour, my foot, it loves the pedal. Okay? And we're going to do that with a slow pedaling. 60 RPM we're aiming for here, but with as big a resistance as possible. Outdoors, we can find a 4 or 5% climb, and we can do this very slow, and we're going to feel the quadricep work, but we're spending enough time in each revolution that the nerve can actually do its work and it can dominate, and that will increase our stability. Super important. In fact, at the end of this video, I'll throw in a short little drill you can do that you've probably done, but I'm going to show you what to look out for that will tell you if your foot doesn't love your pedal. In fact, your foot's going swipe right. Is that the right thing? Swipe right, swipe left. Your foot's on pedal Tinder. Yeah, there's an app for you, okay? Do shoes and cleats go together with this pedal? Hey, that's an idea. I like that. Right, let's get on to it. I'm going to create the resistance as much as possible. Wattbike Pro, boom, I can go up to about 3,500 watts. I am ideally looking for around about FTP for this strength drill. Yeah, if you can get as much resistance as that, then great. If your system doesn't do that, get as much as you can. We're going to start pedaling, and what I'm going to be aiming to do is maybe spend a minute at the high power, then take the gear off and then spin naturally, back on for a minute. And depending where your fitness is, you can get that straight up to maybe 3 minutes, a minute off, another 3 minutes. And you would spend roughly 20, 30 minutes in this drill. You can do it at the start of a workout as part of an extended warm-up, or you can do it at the end, or you can do it as a solo cadence session. So let's have a go and see how the old coach does. So we're warmed up, we'll turn the gear on, turn the machine on. You can hear the engine screaming. Okay, so what we're trying to do, remember, don't collapse. Up, find that good position. Let's find 60 RPM. I'm nice and relaxed, piano fingers. Okay, that's 60 RPM and that's 280 watts. So that's round about my FTP. Now what I'm trying to do is stay really controlled. I'm feeling the pedal stroke, I'm sweeping through. I'm not twisting and pressing my big toe. You must not do that. Still dynamic. Take your gear off. Nice and light. Now, like I say, here's the drift effect coming with the heart rate. You can spend minute on, minute off. But you must change the cadence and go back to normal in that minute off. Give me a second. Now what that's doing is, it's engaging with more muscle fibres than you will ever imagine. And it's activating, thickening. Really important because it's doing it in the correct angle and the dynamic movement flow that you need for cycling. Sure, you can add it to any other strength program, it's no problem. Okay, you ready? From this one, we go to this one. Okay, we're now down on the mat to do another core drill, and this one is really important. It gets a little bit harder, but this one's going to engage a few more muscles than the first one did. So remember, look, your position is ultimately the thing that's going to reduce the air resistance on you. And if we can decrease that air resistance, we're going to go quicker. Now, we don't have to get all professional and measure things. We just have to decrease that frontal load that's hitting the air. I'm going to show you in a couple of videos an easy way to use your phone and how you can measure that frontal load. But let's get working these key core muscles, because remember, we've got to hold that position for a long time on the bike. Right, so what I want to do is use the foam roller. Now what I'm going to do is a basic little drill. You've probably done this one before when you're doing the plank, but we're going to add in stability. Remember, I constantly talk about it, creating an environment that just rocks the body so it's always looking for that central balance point. So what we're going to do is get into a plank position, okay? So this standard plank on elbows, then up onto hands. But that's too easy. We're going to do it on the foam roller. So we start nice and easy, elbows on the foam roller, and then we hold, and then it's up and hold, down. Now you can set your own time scale, how long you're going to do this, but I would try and hold each position for a couple of seconds. Okay, engage into it and hold, then up. So what we're doing there is constantly looking for that central point, and then we can even add in, similar to what I did last week, we can start to rock. This is going to fatigue the muscle quicker. Okay? And you'll actually feel yourself beginning to sweat, getting out of breath. Now you can break that down. You can do a minute, or you can do certain amounts of down and up. It's entirely up to you. Work it around your fitness. Now, the next thing we're going to do once we've mastered that is we're going to add some leg work. So, now, to make sure that we hold the time, while we're in that position, I want us to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what we're now doing is we're working the full range of the abdominals. We're getting into that mountain climb style whereby we're pumping the legs. This will engage the core more, and it's putting you in a much more dynamic cycling position. Again, you can work that around what your fitness is, how many of them you do. You don't have to open up and turn your knee inwards. I see people do that, they call them Spider-Mans and such. We don't need that. Let's keep it in a nice, easy cycling position. Now here's one extra little tip that you can do at the end. So with cycling, a lot of people, they have this hunched forward position. Shoulders are rounded. I've broken both my collarbones before, and maybe you have as well. So shoulders come in. What we want to do is finish off. Now we can do this with our hands on the ground or on the foam roller. Is we're going to do some straight arm press ups. What the hell's that, coach? Well, in this position, what you're going to do is extend. Push your arms as straight as possible. Down, up, down, up. Try and extend right through, really stretch. Now you might feel the nerves actually pull on that, and you're actually stretching out your shoulder, and what you're doing is you're increasing that stability through your shoulder as well. It's a great little drill to finish off with, and it will help you in that head neck position when you're on the bike. Hey, not finished yet. I've got to get back on the bike and share with you that little drill that I promised you. Remember, how much does your foot love your pedal? How much does your shoe love your cleat? Yeah? Or does it hate it? Okay, let's get on the bike and I'll share it with you before I let you go. You thought it was finished? I promised you that little drill that you can practice to see how much your foot loves your pedal. Yeah, whether they're a compatible couple. And it's just straightforward one-legged pedaling. I would have this as part of, at least 3-4 drills that I would do per week. I usually do them after a tough workout. As I'm approaching home, I will go into one-legged drills and I will just make sure that the nervous system is dialed into that efficiency. I'll do them as part of warm-ups and I'll just be testing myself. Okay, so let's have a little look at left leg. Right, so we have a nice resistance, nice and soft. In fact, if you're out on the road bike, I would always recommend do it with the inner chain ring on the front. And what we're trying to do is to really engage in the sweep, then let the foot naturally use the energy from the crank to return. Don't pull it up. That engages the hip flexor. It spends more time going upwards. That's not going to send you forwards, okay? The only time we're going to pull up in the hip flexor is when we're sprinting and when we're climbing out of the saddle. So, sweep. Now, if you're doing this drill and you're hearing a bang, I'm trying to get mine to do it, a knocking noise, that is your cleat banging against the back of the pedal. If you have a cleat that's got some degree of float, and that means that your foot and pedal are moving at different speeds, and you've got to get rid of that. You've got to iron that out, and it usually means that you're yanking. Okay, I say yanking. You're actually forcing different speeds through the 360. Slow it down, okay? Maybe put a bigger gear on. Maybe you've gone too soft. Put more resistance on, and just feel the float. Okay, slide. My foot is in this almost automatic. Maybe 30 seconds. Do your opposite side. Do both. Always finish with both. I would always do the weaker side, then my strongest side, then both. Weak, strong, and you can build that up, but you'll probably notice that one side is better than the other. Hey presto, that's why we need to work on proprioceptive nerves. We need to get that stability. We need to get that control, and if you get that control, you're going to go faster without having to train harder. That's win-win. I'm starting to sweat. Okay, remember, give a thumbs up for the video if you've enjoyed it. Hey, you might even subscribe if you want more of this madness. Remember, I'm live every Monday night answering your questions, and every Wednesday we're live for a workout. And we're back in the Bike Fit studio now, so there's going to be lots more videos coming from there. And if you're lucky, I might even show you some of the wonderful Scottish countryside as I get out for some winter training now. Hey, you stay safe, keep spinning, and remember, anyone can train hard. But there's only some of us, a few of us, that beautiful kinetic community that can train smart.